Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you a bit of Windows XP setup for this Sony VAIO, I'm not really sure how I pronounce it. This PC I got out of kind of a garage clear out, and I just finished figuring out how to replace the original IDE 80 gigabyte HDD hard drive. So now this is a 500 gigabyte SSD, and it's been freshly recovered, and I just sort of wanted to document this setup process. This computer I completely took down to the bare chassis and motherboard and rebuilt it because it was filthy dirty. So you just press a little power button there at the top. And this computer ended up being a bit tricky to reinstall Windows XP because it has its own flavor of it. Since this has special hardware and it's actually running the monitor off of an IDE cable, it's I tried running it on Linux as well, just because I was curious if it would be able to do it. It has a Pentium 4 processor and about 2 gigabytes of memory. So I just think it's neat because this computer actually has Windows XP VAIO. It's actually its own thing, and I'm not really sure if this music comes with regular Windows XP. I haven't done much with Windows XP. I'll just click next. This is my time zone. And I'm just gonna go ahead and rename it to the Sony VAIO, and okay, next. I don't think it's plugged in right now. Either way, it was having issues. I'm gonna be running it off Wi-Fi anyway, so I'll have to put in a special Wi-Fi chip through the USB port. And I'm just gonna click the automatic option. I'll go ahead and say yes. Click next. I'll have to just edit this out. And then this whole thing is kind of interesting. It's asking all this info. Is this an additional PC? I don't know. These are just interesting things I sort of thought was interesting about the computer, but I didn't buy this PC. It's for free, so then this is quizzing you on what you own and what you've bought. Digital camcorder, other camcorder, digital still camera, PC upgrades, wireless networking, non-wireless networking, surround sound speakers, LCD monitor, other monitor, carrying case. I think I don't know about the numeric keypad. And then it's quizzing you here about specific Sony products. Digital still camera. I don't really know what I've bought for. But this is interesting. They're quizzing you about the Walkmans. I don't know, I think I have a DVD player by Sony. This doesn't matter anyway. I'm just doing it for fun. Now we'll see. Hopefully it won't crash on us. Here you can add users. Finish. We'll see. Eventually I might add some more RAM to this thing, but it only has 2 slots. And I was able to dig and find this RAM. So it has 2 gigabytes, which is fairly decent. So yeah, the computer's all set up now, and it's interesting because it actually has it has this custom VAIO screen background, desktop background, and it comes with additional VAIO specific apps. So VAIO media setup, and this thing has a TV tuner function. So if you flip the keyboard that's built in, there's 2 buttons that you press on the sides, and then it flips up. And then I'm not sure if it'll launch correctly since I just recovered it and I haven't really double checked if all the apps are on this thing. It kind of seems like it's missing some stuff, which is maybe why I shouldn't have clicked out of that. Install the recovery CD. Yeah, it looks like some of the VAIO apps are missing. This is to create a VAIO server. And we'll see if I can still insert recovery disk 1. This was a major pain to create recovery disks. It was 9 disks, and it would not let me do a DVD, and no USB. It was specifically burning CDs for each thing. Okay, we'll see if this maybe we'll see if this maybe recovers some more of the apps. I'm hoping. Otherwise, the old IDE hard drive is still technically operational. Right, I guess it's installing. And it was really funky when it was doing the initial recovery of C and D drive, which is all on one hard drive. This thing only has a DVD/CD reader built into the monitor here, and then it has one hard drive slot, and the IDE cable they use only has one hard drive connection. I guess if you wanted to take the whole thing apart and install another IDE cable that has 2 hard drive slots, you could, to potentially boost this thing's capacity, but I would probably just recommend getting a larger center hard drive. Basically, the C drive takes up, I think, like 10 gigabytes or something, and then the rest of it's going to D drive. So Gigapocket is what it uses when you flip the keyboard. Automatically, the front lights will light up, and it'll go into TV mode. So I'll demonstrate that once this thing is all done. And I guess if anybody wants or needs it, if you have a Sony VAIO like this, that's this all-in-one PC, I do have the recovery media now, because I made it myself, and I could sell it to somebody if you want to recover your PC. I have an eBay account, and I could list the full recovery media needed. Because I'm not really sure if this version of Windows XP is even available. I did try installing Windows XP with a genuine Windows XP disk, and it would not work correctly. When it was all done, the screen looked all tiny, it didn't have any of the correct apps, and it seemed like it'd be a major pain to try and find these Sony VAIO apps and try and convert it over to Sony VAIO. So it's, I think, easier to just have the startup discs, and I don't even know if Sony offers to make them anymore, because I saw if there's actually an app here. If you click the start menu and then go to all programs, there's VAIO Recovery Wizard, which is what I used from the original hard drive, and it creates this whole thing. So that was convenient, but in their app they also said you can contact Sony and they would send you a disc. But obviously this thing's old, from around 2002. So I don't really think they would offer to sell that anymore. They don't really give you any options, unfortunately. If, like, I don't think I'm going to use Age of Empires, but they install it for you. So that's a default app that they put on it. And in the recovery media, I ended up having to make 2 whole sets of discs because for some reason it screwed up the first one, which is the most important. So I have this whole 9 discs. I don't know if these ones work. Because basically startup recovery for some reason was blank. So this disc is not good enough, because this is the most important, because you need this one first to actually boot into this disc and then recover the PC. But since that disc wasn't working, I had to tear open the hard drive again and plug in the old one. And I'm using a IDE to SATA adapter in the back right now for a more modern Samsung 500 gigabyte drive, and it's SSD. I was thinking about using a 2 terabyte HDD that I had lying around, but I decided to go with SSD just because it's faster, and because I'm really not going to be using this PC very much, and when I do, I'd like it to actually operate correctly, and I don't want to worry about having another HDD fail. And since this thing is such a special, it's like Apple for Windows, because it's all this sleek silver design, and it's all closed up pretty, so it's really hard to open, and yeah, I just don't want the hard drive to fail. And I'm sort of a noob at Windows XP, so I'll have to figure out how to install more updates and install a good web browser. I had on the original IDE drive, I had installed Firefox, because they have a extended support 32 bit version, so I'll have to figure out how to put that probably on a thumb drive and then plug it in, because Internet Explorer was being very temperamental. But also I know I'll probably have to install updates for Windows XP. Hopefully I can get some more decent updates, but we'll see. Again, I don't think I'm going to use Norton antivirus, but they install it for me. This PC, the only thing I'm really going to be using it for is just the TV, and maybe for some file browsing between computers, because I have a whole media drive on my main desktop. Well, come on. I might just go ahead and end the video. This is just boring. I doubt anybody needs to sit and watch this, because this is just watching the computer install all the different applications. I can probably just make another video demonstrating this computer when it's all fully restored, and show the GigaPocket function and the TV tuner and actually have it connected to stuff. So yeah, I guess thank you for watching. Like I say, if you need to do work on one of these computers and you have questions, let me know and I might be able to help. This thing is not able to boot from USB, so you'll need to make a CD with a bootloader on it to then actually boot from USB if you're trying to do something like that. But like I said, this thing won't really run Linux. I tried it with Linux Slacks and that seemed like it should have worked, but since this thing has a special monitor, it really is not very friendly for other things. It's, yeah, basically like Apple for Windows. So it has all its own special little hardware, sort of using Windows and an Intel processor, but other than that, a lot of the stuff on it's pretty custom. So Linux can't really support it. And it doesn't even have a VGA or DVI or any sort of monitor output on it. It has inputs for different videos if you want to watch TV and stuff. I don't really know what you would need the RCA input for, because usually you would need that for like a DVD player or something on a regular TV. But since this already has a DVD player in it, it seems kind of redundant. But yeah, if anyone needs the recovery media, let me know and I could send you a copy. I would make a listing on eBay for cheap, but it would have to cover the cost of the CDs and shipping. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something. This is definitely, it's a neat computer, and definitely I'm gonna keep it because it's very interesting, since it's from that time period of early 2000s and it's a pretty neat version of early Windows.